Hello guys, how's it going? I'm just making a quick one today to inform you. There's going to be 10 days radio silence from me. My lying slut wife lied to me and I thought we were going to Santa Barbara for my birthday this weekend, but instead we're off to England. So I'll be drunk as a lord for the next 10 days and I won't be making any videos or doubtless writing any content either. I'm going to see my miserable old father, which will be good because that'll knock the cobwebs off. I haven't had a fight since I got to England, since I got to America, so it'll be nice to inevitably get headbutted by my dad and then roll around in the fucking pub car park with him. I thought I'd do a quick story to leave on because this made me laugh today. Transgender cyclist accuses a woman she defeated of poor sportsmanship for failing to link arms. Now the thing that made me laugh about this, again, I've got no real issues with the trans community. They should be free to live the life how they see fit. But if they're going to start allowing them to compete directly with women in sports, I believe that's completely unfair because those are hard-fought rights that those women have got, and you're completely stitching them up. Men are physically stronger than women. There's a ton of research that shows that. We've got thicker tendons and stronger bones and more muscle, and there's a dozen advantages they get if you transition and then start competing in professional sports. I think they should be free to live their lives without harassment and live their lives as best as they see fit. I support that, but definitely should be banned from sports. It's an unfair advantage, and I think anyone with any common sense knows it, which is why the likes of Paula Radcliffe have argued with these people. But this made me laugh just because of the photos. You can see by the size, first of all, which one's the transgender woman. I don't need to talk about it, do I? You can tell by looking. Look at the fucking quads and the legs on the fucker in the middle compared to these scrawny women stood next to him. To her, sorry, her. Don't want to upset anyone. Look at this photo. That just looks like a fat bloke with a kite sitting on a shiny bike. Like that looks like my grandpa if you put him in a fucking set of spandex. It said when they were on the podium after McKinnon won gold in the 35 to 39 age category, Dawn Orwick put her hand behind her back and kept a distance and didn't want to sort of like promote Rachel McKinnon, which is perfectly within her rights to do, right? Rachel said this is something like poor sportsmanship, and yeah, there we go. There's Rachel McKinnon, looking very burly. Burly woman sat next to a bike. Seems a bit unfair to me. Said Rachel McKinnon was the strongest woman. She won fair and square. It's not fair and square if she used to be a bloke. If you start shooting up with testosterone, you get banned. This is well known. It's not fair to start out as a big hairy ass bloke and then a few years later, when you well into adulthood, transition and then suddenly start smashing women on the track. It's not fair. And if this fucker stayed male and went to cycle against the men, I guarantee she wouldn't even get anywhere near the podium. So it's not fair. Science proves it's not fair. That's why the likes of Martina Navratilova and Paula Radcliffe have been arguing about it. I think it's fucking unfair. And this is what I've talked about before. At the end of the day, the reason this whole intersectionality thing falls down, where they claim that every single group that isn't a straight white male patriarch should band together to fight against the system, the reason it's inherently flawed and it will fail and fall down is very simple. It's because all these groups are too large and there's too many people in them, so therefore they have contradictory aims. They do not get along with each other. The trans exclusionary feminists don't like the inclusionary trans activists and them feminists, so there's massive divisions in the LGBT community, right? The lesbians and the gays are a little bit suspicious of the bis and the trans. There's a little bit of friction there. The TERFs are fucking despised by them. And then you've got what? Muslims, there's another minority that apparently falls under the umbrella of intersectionality. As I discussed yesterday, they've got some pretty sizable issues as well. Are the LGBTQ community going to be best mates with the Muslim community? Probably not. There's dozens more you can think of. There's too many groups in that far left cadre that have opposing aims and genuinely do not like each other. So I don't see how they're going to fucking heal the world. And if they ended up running the show, well, it's inevitably going to split, and you're going to have a civil war within the intersectionality community. So, yeah, smarter men than me, I'll try and figure this fucking shit show out. But I'm just going to laugh when it all comes tumbling down. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. I hope everyone's doing all right, and I'll see you in 10 days. I'll be 20 pounds heavier. My liver will look like a fucking raisin, and I'll probably have a hoarse voice because there'll be no moisture left in my body. But I'm sure I'll have a good time. Cheers. See you around.